Good evening. It seems that my supporting actor and actress would like to be in the picture. There they are. Um, there's a reason, personal reason for the gate that separates us. Don't worry, we interact with them. They're not uh, being abused or anything like that. We treat them very well and love them very much. Uh, Housebreaking just didn't go too well. Anyways, you're interested possibly in my Jackery experience. I say possibly. Maybe you're not really following along, but you just tuned into one video or two. And here's another update. uh, I left the aquarium and that night light plugged in overnight. It dropped down to about 9%. The plug to the office is there, but it really hasn't been used at all. Today has been a hazy day. If you go outside in Pennsylvania on a hazy day, you might see a little tint of change with the sun, but it's not really a cloudy day, but it is enough that these units all day today without the cloud, the little unit, the battery backup 23%, the large unit 26%. They were actually a little higher a little while ago, but like I said, I have the fish aquarium, and evidently because 119 watts is being pulled out right now, the heater on that aquarium happens to be going. I don't let these things go below 20 and leave the aquarium plugged in because I don't want them to go to 0 and now the fish will freeze to death overnight. So I might be yanking them. Like I said, I have a late turn in and an early rise. I know that's not supposed to happen. Aren't you supposed to early to bed and early to rise? Well, I go to bed late. Before 1 o'clock is unusual for me, and then I start work at 7 a.m. Thankfully, it's remote. Anyways, the point being is that if I can't keep a fish aquarium charged up, we're really in trouble with Pennsylvania's generosity in solar. Of course, if I get those units or the other set of panels on, then we'll be doing really well. There's no fault with the Jackery units. They're doing what they're supposed to do. The 500X solar panels, we were pulling in 700 watts at one point today, despite the haziness, and then it really did drop down below 300. And that's evidently not sufficient for trying to keep just an aquarium going. But if I can't keep the aquarium going, how could I keep other things that are more pertinent, like, a well pump? So that's that. So let's go out and take a look at... Hi guys, I'm just gonna go out and show them the project. All right. So here we are, still a bit of construction equipment I have to clean up yet, because who knows if it rains overnight. All right, so how far did we get today? Well, we got that crooked board straightened out. The wife was in the neighborhood of a Home Depot, and I had ordered it last night, and she swung by and picked it up this morning and brought it home for me to use afterwards. So I told you that there was a choice between going for the new drill bit, since I broke 2 yesterday, and or not doing anything anyways. But nonetheless, what we have done is firmly shored up a number of boards here. So we added some vertical boards, attached them to the secondary boards. One side note, I didn't think that this would become a Craftsman testing as well. Remember, I got a hammer drill from Lowe's. It's a Craftsman, and with the new drill bits, 3 of them got stuck in the brick, and I don't think it's the actual brick, because I was able to get a whole row and a board. Uh, and when I say whole row, that's both sides. Yeah, that one's short anyways. But to use 3 drill bits on one board, which already had most of the holes drilled, they just weren't deep enough. I Googled, and it says, oh, it could be dirty. Well, I blew it out. The debris, took care of what I could. And no matter what, that Craftsman is not holding the drill bit. It gets so far in and then lets go, and I keep tightening and tightening. I know I'm not a weakling. And, I used even 2 hands, put the drill between my legs, I mean knees that is, and twist as hard as possible. And 3 seconds, the drill bit's in the, and I use different holes, by the way, so it's not the same hole. And just not satisfied. So I'm planning on returning that and see if I could get a replacement. And same thing, because Craftsman has been good to me, unless their quality has gone downhill since I've last purchased them. But nonetheless, that's what I'm dealing with. But I was able to move forward. And what we have here, like I said, is the beginning. I think we can move forward, unless I find out that I need a few more posts in. But I think we're going to move forward in coming this way and start putting up the solar panels. So I'll be angling at 39 degrees to 51 cut at the top and 39 at the bottom. And then do section by section, and maybe put as many panels as I can and hook them up and start something as I finish it off. Because what it looks like, and by the way, I'm going to swing over here just for a moment, sorry to interrupt, but you can see a little yellow tint to the sky here, and that's the haziness. So nonetheless, we're going to have to extend off to the side further than I'd like. A nice gentleman suggested that, hey, just frame it out and put it on the ground, or raise it up, because I said, I don't trust my child in mowing the grass and getting too close and kicking up these stones. He said, well, raise it, okay. But tonight, once again, I'm calling for a potential tornado, and this is Pennsylvania and a little hilly country. But for years and years and years, I've been dismissing it, and nothing ever comes about that. Well, about 2 or 3 years ago, a tornado touched down as close as possible to here, because on our street, which is approximately 1.5 miles long to the main road, it's paved, we had trees ripped up. We were going somewhere at that moment too, and realized that this was more than just your typical storm, and we turned around and went home. And the next day, that's when we noticed all the trees ripped up. So we just avoided some type of mini tornado within a mile or less of our home. No, it would have been a little more than a mile. So within 5 miles, let's say, to cause such damage. All right, so that takes care of all of that. Now I want to clarify something. Last night I had mentioned something, so let's turn this around and get a little personal with you. Face-to-face contact here. I mentioned about off the grid, and I said that's not supposed to be your goal. I didn't mean it the way that it sounded. I'd like to be off the grid. As much as I can pull electricity dependency, the better. And I know I have to get more units. Just can't afford it right now. But as we move along with the project, we'll see about adding more to it. And again, I invite, if Jackie would like to give a gift of those battery backups, the 500 or the 5,000 plus backups, so I can have a fair evaluation and share this. It's definitely welcome. If any of you would like to contribute as well financially, I'm open to that. But hey, that's not the purpose of this video. I'm just saying I'm not going to refuse a gift. All right, but nonetheless, back to the grid thing. That's just it. That I like to be that don't need the be dependent upon the electricity, because I mentioned in the last video that it went from 0.088 a charge for kilowatts up to 0.14. That's almost double since last year. That's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And so, yeah, it's getting to be a challenge to just live and have bills that are going to keep increasing like that. We're on our own septic. We have our own water supply. It's a well. Who knows what they could do to that. We have wood for our wood burning stove, and it's a whole house thing. And so, yeah, I'd like to be off the grid as much as possible. Electronic or computer-wise, yeah, I can't be off that grid. Sorry. So as far as tracking, yeah, they got me. Anyways, so that takes care of that. Now, one other personal note. Let's turn things around again. I hate snakes. I had some bad experience with snakes as a child. I went to step into a creek, and snake. I was about to go into the creek, and someone yelled "snake!" and here came a water snake. Not a moccasin, but a water snake nonetheless, slithering down. It looked like an eel almost. Anyways, that scared me enough to go out of the creek, up the hill, and home, and close the door, and that was it for the day. I, as a young lad, loved playing baseball, so I would get my pitch back out and throw the ball, and enjoyed that time. Ball got stuck underneath, and I went to reach for it, and once you know, there's another snake. I had 4 incidences as a child, and that's enough to terrify me. Then as an adult, one other incident, and then I'm going to share with you what happened last night. So there's a purpose for this. I went on a hike, and I came down a hill, and on the way down the hill, I heard a familiar noise, and it's like, what does that noise mean? And I kept walking and walking, and then turned behind me, and about 10 yards behind me, 2 more hikers come down. And as they are coming down the hill, some guy had great reflexes. He jumped up and to the right, and the rattlesnake nearly got his ankle. I'm surprised it didn't. And then we all huddled around to watch this thing slither away, and that was it for me for hiking that day. Now, I was cleaning up last night, so here's the point of the story. And I was about to enter into the house to go in, and you may notice right now there's all this granular stuff. That's not birdseed. That's called snake away, because down in there a snake happened to squeeze itself in. I know that's the foundation of the house and not inside the house, but I can't tell the family that, or as my wife likes to say, it's time to burn down the house and move. I don't get the picture of, why don't you just move? Anyways, that's her famous phrase when something like that happens. And what happened was that along the base here, because that's where we're at, this is where I'm working at, along the base, something brown was moving along, and it wasn't dawning on me. And then by the time I realized that's a snake, it had slithered all the way down there. And that, I can't believe. By the way, that used to be a pile of stuff. And so I'm assuming the snake came out of there and left, because you can see that there's another hole there. That's just my assumption. What type of snake it is, I'm hoping, because I've been told that we don't really have poisonous snakes in our county, though my wife looked it up and says, nope, we could have a northern copperhead. And that's what it looked like, a copperhead. However, don't get excited, there is a corn snake that also non-venomous, and it also is very plentiful around here, and is more probable that that's what it was. But a snake is a snake, and I hate them. I don't want them, and I deal with them like 6 times every summer, and once on my birthday. Happy birthday to me, and that's what happens. No thank you. So what a note to end on. So if all goes well, we're going to start, like I said, putting up the front panels here, meaning the extended boards that are on the angle, and then fasten them back towards the house, and possibly put up a post right up against it to really firm it up on this end. And how far we're going to extend into the yard on the side yard, I don't know. We'll find out when we reach that side, because we're going to start from this side and work that way. We're going to put 2 panels side by side, and then 2 panels on top of each other for 8 more panels. So 2 singles and then 4 doubles, and we'll see how it goes. All right, more updates later.